Hello, 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 Taurus. Hello, Taurus. I'm happy to be with you. This is a reading for the full moon in Scorpio. That's coming up the 19th. And the reading also covers the second half of May. I have with me the Alice Tarot, the Alice in Wonderland Tarot, and I'll be using that beautiful, beautiful deck. You'll be seeing that. And I also have the Sibilla to clarify, and the runes. Now, we're going to use again the full moon spread, and you will remember as we do these in time that there's a cycle that is picked up from the new moon to the full moon to the new moon to the full moon. So let's take a look at that. This consists of 6 cards, and I'll show you the cards first, and then we'll talk about the individual positions and the questions that they respond to or correspond to. All right, let's start. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now let's see. Let me show you the cards. We have look at how cute this is, the Tweedledee and Tweedledum. It looks like the sun. The sun. Beautiful, beautiful, Taurus. Beautiful cards. The 10 of Swords. Look at that. You can see the knight shining there, the knife. The 10 of Swords. Then we have the moon. Alice is falling in the rabbit hole. Then we have the 6 of Wands. We've got the Hermit. Beautiful cards. And the last card is the 5 of Coins. The 5 of Coins. Now, the first card that we have here, the Sun, it answers the question. We ask, what have you manifested from the new moon? What have you created from that new moon? What was created? We have sun here. We have light. This is spirituality. This is light, literally light. When we talk about light and we translate it into a more pragmatic concept or a more tangible concept, we talk about substance that is not substance, if that makes sense to you. It talks about you creating love and a love atmosphere around you. What have you created? You've created goodwill. You've created interpersonal relations where people know that you are good for your word, because that is who you are, Taurus. You've created a situation, hi everybody, a situation whereby you're able then to have people know who they're talking to and have been able to give your word. The next card talks about, where am I now? If I created that, where am I now? And here I have this 10 of Swords. I am at, Taurus, saying, I am at the end of a very difficult cycle. And that's where I am. So I can take a step back and look and say, amen, amen, Taurus. And I'll be illuminating some of these. Just let me get to the end of this. Now we have the moon card, and the moon card talks to me about what is coming to your conscious awareness. What is coming to your conscious awareness? Taurus, what comes to your conscious awareness is the fact that not all things can be knowable. 1. Not all things are black and white. And last but not least, and the most important thing, is that what is truly, really important, what is really, really important in this third dimensional, heavy world, is not going to work and getting my paycheck and then paying my bills and then trying to, send the child to the distance. No, it is all about that energy that we see and that we may not see. I'll take that back. We may not see, but we feel. We have that energy. What is emerging to your conscious mind and to your awareness is the energy you feeling it, you see it, you can practically taste it, and you're starting to understand now, Taurus, that when you go into a room and you feel something odd, there's energy that's giving off something that you don't like. That's emerging to your conscious awareness. This is a moment when you are able to understand that there's something there that's just not right. Okay, so this is energy that's coming to your conscious awareness. You're learning how to read the signals. Then we have a card here that talks about what no longer serves you, and this is the Six of Wands. Now, look at the cards in the card. Look at the cards in the card. This is of course, a piece of artwork from the person who designed these this tarot deck. But you remember, and you'll recall that oftentimes, even on my channel, I used to have Alice in Wonderland with all the cards flying around. And there was a part of the story, go back and read the story or get a summary on internet. And what is no longer serving you is one, guesswork, one, fear. Fear is no longer serving you. This is tantamount to a declaration of success, Taurus. What is no longer serving you? The fear that you're just not going to make it, the fear that you're not good enough, the fear that this, the fear that, the fear. And not only does this usher in a very new, cool wind of self-confidence, but it also is the beginning of a road leading to success. Because when you can get rid of fear in anything that you do, a performance, talking to your boss, talking to a child, facing your lover, knowing that you did something wrong, anything, when we get rid of that fear, we're able better to understand how to move forward because we're not paralyzed and we don't compromise our success. This is the first step leading to success. Then we have another card that talks about how to release. How can we release? And here we have the Hermit. Now, of course, this seems to be self-explanatory, but when we have the Hermit in this position, it tells you that you need to go within. You need to actually study. The Hermit is a card of analysis, of realizing what it is that we're not seeing, what's on the other side of the moon. We only see, you've heard the story when we talk about science and we see a black sheep going across the screen, and you're asked, what do you see? And you can say, well, a black sheep. And the answer is no, because you're only seeing one side of a black sheep. What do we know? We know that one side, the left side of the sheep, is black. Okay, so this card is inviting you to go back and take a hard look and understand situations and not only situations, people, Taurus. Look at people from different perspectives, and you'll get a lot of insight from that analytical standpoint, from that perspective that you use. That is how you can release, by looking at all angles and understanding what no longer serves you. Because when you're able to see all of the angles, there is no fear. Remember, we talked about having to release fear, Taurus. Now, the last card is the Five of Cups, and it talks about what resources do I have to help me let go? Well, we have the moment in time, this Five of Cups, we have the moment in time when we're ready to start once again, an added boost of energy. It's like having a seventh gear, a sixth gear, a seventh gear, having an excess amount of energy to move forward, enable us to then release. The Five of Cups is all about knowing that we're not the only persons in the room. We're not the only persons in the world. We're not the only persons doing things. We are one. And that notion is going to help you release. Because if we are one, remember we talked of the fear having to be released. If we are one, Taurus, that means I'm not the only one who is in this situation. And I'm not the only one to have to try to learn how to get out of it. Surely there must be so many people like me. And if I'm about to face someone who's like me, then that doesn't mean I need to fear, because they understand, because we are in the same boat. We are one. So now I'm going to take some Sibilla cards and mix them, shuffle them, and clarify a few of these cards. First of all, the first card that talked about what have you manifested from the new moon, and we saw the sun. I'm going to take 3 cards on that. Let's see, said the blind man. We have amica, friend. We've got sighing, so speedy. And then we have leggerezza, the lightness of being. And this tells us, ladies and gentlemen, that, look, there's harmony. You have created a situation that has brought harmony. Even though, Taurus, I'm seeing that this is not the be-all and end-all. This is just one step. Of course, life is long. We are on a path after all, right? This is just one step in our journey. When we talk about having to go within, soul searching, I was speaking to a client the other day, and she was talking about her journey and how long it would take. And yes, I've been working on myself, and because she was tired of thinking, when is it going to end? And I said, it's not like an illness that you take a pill and it goes away. This is a lifelong journey. Every day affords you the opportunity, and it is an opportunity, to understand something and to emotionally understand something, not only superficially. And here we talked about light, the sun. What you manifested is one step in the right direction of understanding your soul's journey. Now let me take this, we have that card that talks about where are we now? Where are we now? And it's the 10 of Swords and the end of a difficult cycle. I'm going to take a few cards to let me know. All right, a few difficult cards. No, not difficult cards. Telling cards. Messaggero, the messenger. Then we have Amore, love. And then we have I deliranti, the delirious people. And a little bit of difficulty you guys out there had in terms of your significant other, in terms of contacting someone who is dear to you. And that difficulty, that argument, that, ill will between you has come to an end. That's where you are now. You're in a position where you feel the freedom of being, the freedom and the luxury of knowing, yes, we are one. And not crying, and I use this expression, not crying over spilt milk, because there's no milk spilt, and there are no tears to be spilled over spilt milk. We're past that now, Taurus. I'm going to take a few cards here on the Hermit, and the Hermit is the card that answers the question, how can we release? And we said, by going within and analyzing the situation analyzing that fear from different angles. Let's take a look at that. And we've got viaggio. Viaggio is a movement, trip, travel. Then we have gran consolación. I love that. Gran consolación is great consolation. This is probably the most abundant card spiritually, economically, and emotionally. And then the great consolation. And then we have the death card. Now, the death card in this position, in these three cards, talking about how to release, here we have a constant renewal. We have the end cycle, the beginning cycle, the end cycle, the beginning cycle, movement. How to release is through movement, ladies and gentlemen, Taurus friends. Do not feel stuck in a rut. We are not stuck in a rut. You're not stuck in a rut. Movement. Movement is the key to your Six of Wands success. What no longer serves you, that fear. All right, now let me take three more cards on this the Five of Cups at the top that talks about what resources do I have available to me to help me let go. And I've got here happiness in the heart, allegrezza al cuore, and Costanza, Our Lady Constance, and pensiero, thought. What resources do I have? You have your love, your joy. You have your Constance, right? Our Lady Constance talks about your endurance, your consistency as well. If probably I want to get an alliteration, it's not working, but your, how can I say, your constant going forward and never taking for granted that something has been solved. There's more. There's something that I can do that's more. And your thoughts. Remember the Hermit card, analyzing the situation to dispel fears from all different angles. Let's take the runes now again. And we've got beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Lagas Lagos. Bright stave means this is a cycle that is smooth sailing, ladies and gentlemen, Taurus friends. Smooth sailing, smooth sailing. Also, Isa talks, ladies and gentlemen, of doing things with your creative energy in mind, using your creative energy and knowing that what you decide is your responsibility, taking responsibility. Then I have Ansus Merkstave. This talks about limiting the way, keeping your cards close to your vest. Don't over talk. Don't bring other people and make them party to any ideas that you want to push forward. Keep that to yourself. I have here also, but at the same time, they're saying I have Gifu here, and this is a give and take. But this is a give and take of energy, not talk. This is a give and take of mutual respect, mutual aid, but not talk. If that makes sense to you, when I say not talk, it tells you just to keep matters close and do not reveal personal information that may be of help to you in the future. Also, I have Therisats. Therisats is bright stave, and Therisats also tells you, and very importantly tells you, Taurus, that it's necessary to keep up your good work now. Do never let up. Do never give up. Do never give up and fall prey to that fear. We need to release that fear. Success. Soilo. We have the sun. Soilo. We have two suns here. This is light. You are light in this period. Taurus, good for you. Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. I hope this was of help to you. Like, share, and subscribe. I would appreciate that. Bye-bye, and I'll be back soon. Soon, 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 soon. Sooner than you can say soon. Sooner than you can say soon.